Here it is, my first part of my in-depth review of Doom. So we're going to start off with SnapMap. So before I talk about the mechanics and intricate features of SnapMap, let me explain the basics of SnapMap. SnapMap, according to its software, is supposed to be equivalent to the modding experience of Doom 2016, and I personally believe that's horrible marketing. SnapMap in no way, shape, or form is even close to that type of experience. Matter of fact, when I was making my first map, I already noticed a lot of its limitations and problems. I repeat, just on my first day, and I was already having problems, and these problems were kind of annoying. But on the bright side, I really loved how easy it was to make a basic map. You literally could make a map in a couple of seconds by just randomly throwing one set piece with another set piece. It's also a powerful tool that replicates a lot of the advanced stuff in game design, but makes it so easy for you to develop without needing to go through that process. So if you want to create triggers or AI behaviors, you don't have to actually know how to code. SnapMap is definitely versatile. You can totally create a lot of stuff if you know the mechanics really well and understand how to make proper triggers, which I will admit is probably the most advanced feature of SnapMap. I'm sure in the long run people are going to find some really intricate triggers that they can use in their maps to separate their maps from other maps. Matter of fact, there's actually references where the developers of SnapMap shows off how complex the triggers can be, and seriously, it's actually mind-boggling how versatile it is. I believe SnapMap does do a good job at giving the player what they want to do with their maps, or what kind of game experiences they plan on doing. I've seen many kinds of maps while just searching the hub, and that's definitely a good thing for sure. Now I want to talk about the hub, and my god, I'm kind of mixed with it. I think it's great overall from the basic features. You know, it gives you the option to look for new maps, see what maps are the hottest one, and it's also nice that there's updates of maps that seem to be likened from the community, or it could be handpicked from the developers, I don't know, but that's really cool, and all of these options are welcome to SnapMap. However, I have a huge problem with the matchmaking. It takes a long time to find games publicly, and also it doesn't seem like a friendly experience for people that just want to play in a public experience. The quick matchmaking options are also terrible. There's very limited options of what you can host with the amount of maps that is concerned, and this is for co-op, but I have not found any games for multiplayer, and I'm not too surprised because the multiplayer, it's so toned down compared to the actual multiplayer, where there's just a lot more to offer because in SnapMap there's that 4-player limit. I also have moments where I find a match where I want to play the specific map online with people over the world, and then sometimes I get shady hosts. What do I mean by that? Well, sometimes the host will switch the map and play something else than the map I actually wanted to play on. That's a problem for sure. So basically, I feel like in the future there needs to be updates where people can play public matches of SnapMap, whether it's your creation or maybe the popular maps. I believe a game browser would be better than just matchmaking because it really does give players more options. And at the end of the day, that's what, SnapMap is supposed to do. It's supposed to allow players to create many kinds of maps, so it makes sense to include a game browser rather than matchmaking. So what that means is SnapMap is really not great for a public playing experience. It's really either for solo or co-op with friends at the end of the day. I really believe SnapMap can almost be like the custom match experience akin to Warcraft and Starcraft, if they allow players to play with people online in a better way. And it's just a shame that just in 2 weeks, it seems like the public experience is dead. You're really going to struggle to find games to play with people over the internet if they're not your friends, or you're not playing a map that's designed for a single player. Now here's my experience with making the maps. I do think it gets the job done with the amount of stuff what you want to have, whether it's enemies, weapons, objects, and the map's set pieces, but there were some obvious issues I noticed when I was making my first map. It sucks that I can't specifically set a weapon with a specific spawn time like in Halo's Forge. You can set the item spawn time, but it has to be for all of them, which is lame because the BFG is so ridiculously powerful, and it doesn't make any sense to make that weapon have the same duration with like a shotgun. The 12 enemies on a map was pretty frustrating at first, but there are ways to bypass that problem, if you would say so. I don't know if I think it's a problem anymore, but yeah, it is lame to only have that compared to the campaign, where I'm sure that wasn't relevant. We need to have some sort of system where the ammo box doesn't give ammo to every weapon, because like I said, the BFG is so broken and ridiculously powerful when you have that feature. And I also want to say that I don't understand why SnapMap only allows you to carry 2 weapons. All I gotta say is I really want more options for what the mapper can do for the player. I want specific ammo boxes for specific weapons. I want to be able to carry more weapons. I want to specifically set spawns for items. I want to change certain stats for weapons, because believe it or not, there are weapons that are much stronger than others. Like the super shotgun is really powerful in SnapMap. It's almost like the Doom 2 super shotgun, while in single player multiplayer that's not the case. For what we have to deal with right now, I believe it's still fine for the playing experience. You can still make playable maps that are fun and balanced for the player and AI, but obviously I want more options at the end of the day. There's probably more I can put too, like the Demon Rune only makes you into a Baron and not any of the other demons from the multiplayer for whatever reason. So since you can't create layouts like a real map editor or a SDK allows you, but I actually like having presets at times. I'm terrible at imagining how my map would look like, so it's good to have presets, because now I just gotta figure which preset is going to connect to another preset. I don't know if we will have the ability to create our own layouts, but I'm fairly content with the presets we have. There's a lot of them, and yes, we do need more of them in the future. More specific themed presets like Cavern or Hell, that would be nice, but we're gonna have to deal with what we have right now. I personally believe the whole map making experience has been solid for me ever since I learned more of its techniques, or exploits you would say. It's gotten better, but I'm still upset with like we're stuck with 2 weapons and the weapon balance, pretty much everything I said before. I've been mostly making maps that pay homage to the classic maps from Doom 1 and 2, but I'm still pleased that a lot of these presets you have, you can still make them become a decent spiritual successor to them, despite of them not being completely accurate to them. I am starting to make some of my own original maps, and it's definitely more versatile in that situation, of course. Overall, SnapMap does have its strengths, but I do feel like it hasn't reached its potential yet. We're gonna see how the updates are going to improve SnapMap. It's still fun and it's worth putting your time in. I don't feel like it's right to compare SnapMap to like a Doom builder, although it's probably a sense of inspiration to SnapMap, because Classic Doom has a ridiculous amount of user-generated content, of course, but you know, it's just not a real mod tool, nor is it capable against that, which I don't blame the game for that. I blame it on its bad marketing strategy. I also believe any real modders will play SnapMap will not take it seriously from a modding standpoint, but for an in-game map slash game editor, it's actually rather strong, and there's potential for it to be better if the updates really does make a difference in the future. SnapMap is like Forge from Halo, and it does have its strengths over Forge, but also its weaknesses too. SnapMap is decent and fun for what it is, but it's not the strongest part of Doom, nor is it something I believe you should play Doom for, or an experience you have to witness. Thank you for watching the first part of my in-depth review of Doom, and stay tuned for more, guys.